Have you ever wondered what it's like to design models or make games? Well, let me tell you, do not do it. I started Blender 3-ish months ago, and I've never gone to sleep with as many headaches as I do now. Hi, I'm your average, aspiring game dev, and we're going to look at the past few months of my journey that I'll likely end up regretting. I chose Unreal Engine as my game engine of choice. Well, I opened Unreal Engine and went to start making a game until I realized I didn't have any assets. And I didn't have the money to buy them either. So then I went to Blender. Which, Blender is a great 3D development software that is amazing for beginners. Real easy to learn. Obviously, I looked for a tutorial, and I chose one on how to make some basic modular assets. Now, let me explain the basics of what I learned. What you're gonna do is you're gonna add a cube, then move that cube onto the plane. Make the cube however skinny you want the wall to be. Then make the cube tall. Now duplicate the cube twice over and join the two duplicated cubes together. Make a door cutout and cut and then fill in the edges. Now do it again, but wider. Next, realize that you're dumb and forgot to keep an actual wall, so duplicate the door, fill in the gap you created, and then duplicate the wall twice over again, and delete the extra faces inside. Now, grab all 4 of your wall pieces that you've created, duplicate them forward, and then grab the vertices on one side of them and pull them out a bit. Now you have your exterior walls. Finally, you're going to do some fancy pants stuff, joining walls together to create the corners. Once you get the basic shapes, you can add details like trim and then texture the walls. If done correctly, you can end up with some models like these. If they don't look good, I'd tell you to figure it out. This wasn't meant to be a tutorial. Or you could go watch the guy that I did and try to work on it. I'll have his link below. Right, so now we move on to placing them together, which took me a while. I ended up having to create floor plans and all this stuff for the different floors that I had. But after a lot of trial and error, I ended up with this. Once I got this done, I then had to remake the entire thing with these basic cubes and painstakingly label every single one of these cubes in the correct UCX, name, number that it was supposed to be. 405 cubes. It was not a fun task. But you do it all so that way when you import it, you have collisions that work and you don't go flying through a railing, which I did multiple times while testing. Once all of this is completed, I was able to export my creation from Blender to Unreal. Now, when importing something from Blender to Unreal, the two main things that I found you gotta look out for is making sure your collisions are working and making sure your textures look right. Now, the collisions I fixed by, like I said, creating the custom collisions. The textures, however, gave me a little bit of problems when it came to this glass texture. I spent hours just trying to figure out how to get the glass texture to work, because my other ones were working. After a lot of banging my head into the wall and Google searches, I eventually figured out that it had something to do with the nanites that Unreal has, so I just disabled that setting and I was able to get the glass working shortly after that. In the end, I got it working with proper collisions and textures. Then I just added a light in one of the rooms and changed the time in my game setting to dusk, and I got a pretty cool building made entirely by me. If you've watched for this long, I'd like to say thank you. And if you're interested to see where this goes, leave a like and maybe subscribe if you want to keep up with my journey. We'll see what becomes of me in the next one. See ya!